Hello, fellow members of the Micro Squad. Welcome back to the Micromotor Bazaar. It's part 2. The first of you to guess the soundtrack for today's Bazaar in the Discord chat gets a free ticket. No, I messed it up. Well, if you were quick, you could see what I wanted to hide. This should be minimized. No surprise soundtrack, I'm sorry. Yeah, only digital pirates of the 90s might remember this music. So for those who've just tuned in, if you guessed the soundtrack correctly, the first to guess the soundtrack correctly in the Discord chat gets a free Bazaar ticket. I've already given it away, but yeah, so I hope you're late and you can still guess. So yeah, the contract for Micromotor Paradise has been signed. So we'll be moving out of here in around 6 weeks. So need to clean up. So I already started with last week's Bazaar. But this week, this shelf over there, we've seen a little bit more of it in the preview picture. That needs to go. That is a big part of my work over the last 2 or 3 years. I think I've built way over 100 micro quads, and well, let's say way over 100 I think survived. I mean, there have been many more who have been crashed to pieces or had some other misfortune, but yeah, these over there, that's the Micromotor Museum. That's quite a few more parts actually in quads than I've showed you last week in the Micromotor Museum video. I guess you can scroll up the Discord chat and get to the content of last week. But yeah, you know, this is all almost flyable stuff. Maybe some of them need a little bit of maintenance, but the main parts are there. Most of them have not been flown much, and if I've been flying them much, I've been replacing parts frequently. So they should be all in pretty good condition. And yeah, it's a bit saddening that they're sitting there and not flying as they should. So I'm gonna get them out there in the world, along with a few spare parts and a bit of advice what to do with them. And yeah, you can grab yourself a piece of the Bazaar. And still no one has guessed the song in the, or the soundtrack in the Discord chat, so come over here. The link is in the video description, and yeah, you score yourself a free ticket if you know what music that is. It's related to the jungle and to the dawn of the internet, I would say. Well, it's not directly related to the dawn of the internet, but it's been happening at the same time. This song originally was delivered to me on 5/4-inch floppy disks. Yes, a piece of history, and welcome back to the chat room. So everyone who wants to participate, please come into the Discord chat room that I've linked in the video description. I'm not going to participate much or at all in the YouTube chat. So for those of you who are hanging out there and are sad that nothing's happening there, please come over here. And if a few of you want to hang out in both, I wouldn't mind if you post a link to the chat room from time to time if some desperate souls are thinking I'm ignoring them. So let's get started. A couple more vitamins. Keep me afloat. Bunch of boxes. I'm running out though, so this is probably 50 boxes left. To protect your ears today, I have some quiet tape. And yeah, let's get moving. Another madman came to the chat room. Madman XRS. Welcome. So this is a Quadcopter. It glows in the dark. It fits a traditional Alienware flight controller. Comes with original powder-coated Dark Force motors and with, I forgot what its name is. You probably know him. So yeah, you can take off his hairdo. But yeah, I prefer to keep that on. Looks much better on him. Yeah, there's only one of its kind. It's a redesign of yeah, one of the first frames I did with a little special edition of my design Lego studs, which don't fit regular Lego bricks, but they fit bodies of minifigs. Yeah, I don't have these models anymore. They don't have much flight time, but a couple of spares can't hurt. So I thought it's going to be a smart idea to label these things on the inside now. So as soon as they're closed, no one knows, not even me, what's in there. So I don't exactly remember what number I finished, but it was somewhere in the 50s last week, so I'll just start with 60 on the inside. Number 60 it is. Little zombie quad. There's a video about it. Maybe some of you can find it. Somewhere around Halloween 2 years ago, I think. I made this guy. Didn't have much flight time at all. I was scared to crash it and then break one of these arms. It's quite light. So it has some really good power, very lightweight frame, a lot of fun to fly, looks great. So, but yeah, I'd put it on the shelf and was just looking at it. I looked at it for quite some time, so maybe you want to look at it, or maybe you want to fly it. Let's take the guy off and put it in back too. Yes, if you have any trouble making zombie fly, give me a call. Frankenstein, yeah, Frankenstein. How could I not remember Frankenstein? Thank you, Francisco. And wants to make a tiny whoop meetup in an office space in Sydney soon. Oh, please. I would love to come down for a tiny whoop. Am I still allowed to say tiny whoop when I come? Tiny whoop meetup. Frankenstein. I got that name a lot as a kid. What? People call you Frankenstein? Ah, yeah, now I remember. We're joking about Quad when I made this thing. Yeah, so I apologize for my redneck packing strategy, but I don't want to waste much packing peanuts and stuff, so I just tape the things into the boxes and hope to give them the best protection for the least material. And yeah, that also will limit what I'm gonna pack today, because I only have these little boxes. They're made for VHS tapes, I believe, and they just fit a quad. So yeah, I think that should do. Ah, now I know. Now I get the connection. Francisco and Frankenstein. So Frankie will go on its way. Good luck, whoever scores Frankie. Yeah, so in case I didn't make it clear enough, well, I guess I didn't explain it at all today. The rules of the bazaar are: you buy a ticket, you get some of one, unless you buy more tickets, so you're also allowed to buy more tickets. However many tickets you buy, you get as many boxes, and it's random what's in these boxes. You can see every one of them that I pack. Some of them have cooler stuff than others, different stuff, you know, different strokes for different quads. And yeah, so you don't know what you get. If you like it, great. if you don't like it, you can go to the Bazar thread, which I've linked in the video description, and you can post what you got, and you might find someone who likes more what you got than what he got, and you can trade. So Pilsner Popper just posted the link to the thread again in the Discord chat, so feel free to come over there. And VK2 War is in the house, and yeah, whoever just joined and didn't get the beginning of the stream, it was not guessed yet. If you guess what music I'm playing, you get a free ticket. Let's move on. Rakan Heli Nano QX. Only the props are still from the Nano QX. The frame is from Rakan Heli. 615-14 motors and a micro MWC board. Still has the old little plug. The battery holder fits your standard 150, 200 to 200 milliamp 1S packs. Here's only 2 spare motors and 2 spare props. So here's a couple more. 10 spare motors and the Pogo Pain programmer, which you can use to program this flight controller here. I've set it all up and tuned it. It's not directly soldered. There's plugs, so you can easily swap the motors. The programming port is exposed, so you can get to the port without taking it apart. But for replacing the motors, you need to remove the top plate to get to the plugs. Number 61. Yes, it's a micro MWC, a dinosaur in micro quad land. What's up, Lloyd? How you doing? Thanks for coming. Yeah, Pilsner Popper, the chances are good that I replaced the fats before I put this thing together. But yeah, if you, I'm pretty sure this is a good one. At least they don't explode straight away like many of the fats on the Micro and the ODC boards did. This is either a good series or I replaced them. I don't remember. I would need to take a magnifier to figure this out. So, and yes, of course, Pilsner Popper. There will be a hoop tour of Hoophausen. Somewhere in February, I think. Yeah, it's a pole house in the middle of the, well, that's in the middle, backing onto your little eucalypt jungle. Now there are no koalas. There are more parrots. There are lots of parrots. Lots of parrots. That's where the parrots live. You know, you've probably all seen them on my videos, the little parrots, on the big parrots, and the medium parrots, and all the other parrots that used to hang out on my deck. That's where they live. That's where they go and sleep and have a party. So we are in the middle of all the wildlife. It's gonna get exciting. Yeah, Jason, VK2 War. You know where it is? It's in the valley of Oka Beach, a little down the hill, way down in the jungle. Yeah, this is a hex. That's right, Jason. I've forgotten even what this thing. This is the receiver that came with this. I don't remember. This is a Multilight board, one of the early versions they sent me, and that's a VTX which connects to the flight controller, so you can connect to this thing over a programmer which I don't know even which to use for that anymore. Probably a standard STM32 or whatever they're called. Let's see if one of them fits. So this is the pogo thing. I think I've used one of these with a different plug, but I don't remember. So yeah, I guess challenge for you: if you get number 62, you're up for a ride. So yeah, it's the Multilight board with the Multilight VTX. Uses an MC900 camera and I don't remember what receiver. It's very likely DSM. No, I'm 100% sure it's DSM. At the stage where I've built this, I didn't have any other radios but DSM, and I remember I flew this thing. It had a couple of issues that I didn't work out, which are related to tuning the flight controller and setting up the VTX properly. It just did my head in that I had to connect this every time to the computer to change channels and things like that. And well, my challenge now is going to be how do I take it apart, not damage anything, and make it packable? So I guess I can just plug out the connection to the camera, and then when I remember correctly, I could just pry it out. Yeah, so don't bend the pins. And as you can see, it's just pins at the bottom, and I just connect this thing to the flight controller and gets power and commands. So I guess I can pack it like that. The motor should be pretty fresh, but for good measure, a couple of spares. No, Mullet. I think you cannot program the VTX over the transmitter, but I might be wrong. You might be able to flash a way newer firmware since I've used this thing, so that's probably the first thing I suggest to do. Check out what firmware you can flash on there, and you might have a lot more possibilities. The micro FRX receiver. Possible. I honestly don't remember. So yeah, if you have any problems setting this thing up, welcome to the club. No, I think with with the due diligence and some patience and some help from your friends, I'm sure you get it working. It was flying, but yeah, I vaguely remember some tuning issues and some range issues on the video transmission, but this was very in the early days of me flying FPV, so I might have just done it wrong. Sexy Hexy, Simon's Block, Fish Pepper, DIY Electronics and Quadcopter FPV. No, I haven't. I'll check it out later. Moving on. FPV Dreamcatcher suffered a little bit, as they all do, from rubber rot. All these rubber bands that are used to at first hold the two parts together and then hold the inner section in the frame, they all rot away. So these are like 2 years old and they are just completely brittle, so you need to replace them frequently, which is a little annoying. But if you have more time than cash, this will be an awesome thing, because it just requires time to fix. Very hardly any parts ever break on this thing. It's made to crash. Crashes like a ninja. So it consists of two custom designed plates by me. On the top you have a 200 milliwatt, I think it's even 400 milliwatt, a 400 milliwatt video transmitter, only transmitting on Bosscam E. I've epoxied and soldered a switch to it so you can change the channels. On the back of it, it has a MC900 camera, and the antenna is zip tied and epoxied right in here, so it's, this does not break. I crashed this thing a lot. It just comes back and asks for more. The connections are all soldered and then keratin glued or epoxied, and then there's a pluggable connection to the power input, so it piggybacks right on the power in of the flight controller. There's a Pololu step up mounted underneath. In here is a classic version 2.3 Alienware flight controller with the Lemon RX receiver. So these little poles here, they interlock, and you connect. You put rubber bands around these hooks to hold the two halves together, and then you put rubber bands through the lower platform and hook that up to the frame. Runs on 8.5mm motors, designed to have enough clearing for Parrot props. And then you have to somehow doodle up some rubber band contraption on the bottom here to mount your batteries. By the way, I won't include batteries in any of the Bazar shipments, because international battery shipment is a pain. It's number 63, I believe. Also deserves some spare motors. all up weight is probably in the 60s, I believe. You can check that out. Yeah, so it's 53 gram without battery. So yeah, mid 60s will be the all up weight. Was asked by Mullet. Yeah, so 65 gram. That's a pretty good weight for an FPV quad. 55 or 60 would be better, but 65 flies pretty well. Oh yeah, in case you don't have any, I'll chuck in a couple of rubber bands. These are clear hair bands from eBay. Clear silicone hair bands or something they're called. These are different ones. They came from the Rakan frame. They look very similar. So I'm taking the top part off. If you get number 63, you just need to plug it back together. This was for a long time my favorite combination of parts. Classic Alien V, 400 milliwatt, and the MC 900. You can fly very far. Crash very hard. This quad in a slightly different combination was the Alien of Pitwater. So if you want to see the adventures of Dreamcatcher Alien, just type into Vimeo, into Google, the Alien invades Pitwater. I think that was Easter 2 years ago. We went on a little holiday with the kids. And I was making a fun video flying this thing around. On top of what's already on there, it was carrying... Oh no, I changed. It was, yeah, similar. It was a Dreamcatcher, but the interior was all different. Same flight controller probably, but I used a different camera. I used a lightweight Spectrum VA1100 in order to carry an additional 10 gram worth of 808 number 16 camera to do some high def recording. This is too high, it doesn't fit in here. What am I gonna do about it? Well, I guess I have to disassemble it a little bit. So, but yeah, you know, so you already learn how to fix it. There's two zip ties which hold one holds the VTX on, snip, and the other one holds the camera on, snip. So they're also fixed with double-sided tape. So that's my standard method to attach stuff. A little bit of double-sided tape, not too much, otherwise it's too hard to disassemble, and then zip ties to provide strength. If you only use zip ties, then things will slide around. and if you only use tape, then it'll fall off at some stage. So a little bit of tape and small zip ties. I don't have any tape that I could include, but I'll chuck in a couple of small zip ties. Just if you might have some more of them, just search small assorted zip ties on eBay. So now I can just tape this down here. And the zip ties, they can just live in here, I guess. Number 63. Did I put a card in? Yeah. One of my favorite builds ever. If you have any problems with this, call me. I don't promise to always pick up my phone, but if I'm not there, there will be a nice lady taking your call, and I'll call you back. But yeah, even better, open a support ticket. Go to my website and click Help Desk Ticket under Contact. Alright, quick catch up on the chat room. What did I miss? Yeah, don't let the loom band scare you. Simon does a great job. Plastic sandwich bag. Madman posts some pictures of. What is it? Looks like an Parrot brain adapter on a different frame. Yeah, exactly. Pilsner popper. Parrot bottom plane mounted on top of this thing here. I've seen that frame before. Let's move on. Oh, here. Already brought with me the other one. Slightly different version, no interior. So, what are we gonna do about this? Yes, after I've built so many of these FPV quads, we found a very similar piece of hardware which integrates it all. Tried to produce a lot of them to spread the love, but unfortunately the production has a couple of issues, primarily with the power input. But this one here is a good version, because I've put an external Pololo onto it. So the plug goes to here, so you just connect power here. Will be filtered through this thing. In here is a 25 milliwatt video transmitter and an MC900 camera. It's a 90 degrees camera. Yeah, you can ignore the frequency here. You obviously can set the frequency in here, and it has full 38, 32, 40 channels, whatever. Lots of channels. I don't think race bands are probably 32 channels. Yeah, how to mount this thing on here. Well, if you're a beginner, you maybe just want to mount it flat, or maybe even somewhat, probably on top is probably good. And if you're more advanced flyer, you want to increase the angle a little bit. You see what else I have. So I made these brackets here specifically for this camera. So you put the camera in here, then you add a little bit of tape underneath and one zip tie around this hole and the body of the camera to hold it in, and then you can use 2 zip ties to zip tie this to that. It's a little exposed on the front, on the top, so yeah, you're probably gonna smash it to pieces unless you put some protection around it, or I don't know, somehow make up a different mounting for this. This is the problem of these cameras. That's why I didn't sell them too successfully, because the form factor is a little awkward. You can take them apart though if you want. If you want to do this, take the voltage regulator off. Just heat it up a little bit. It's fixed on with keratin, which gets soft when you heat it up. Just remove that, and then pry the end cap of this case off, and then you can slide the whole case forward to get to the interior, and you can snip it apart and instead of pins make solder connections. So let's add some motors to the mix. There's 4 modern style 820-17 motors in there. A giveaway tray. 820-15 motors, because those will be replaced with a slightly new generation of motors. Just a couple of cosmetic or maybe logistic improvements, but yeah, that gives me the chance to give away a whole bunch of 820-15 motors. So yeah, it's a pretty heavy setup. Agreed. The Eachine TX or 1 or 2, they are a lot lighter. The main advantage of these things over all the hoop style 3 to 5 gram cameras is the camera itself is a lot better. This is a 90-degree lens with a very sensitive, very good, very sharp light sensor, so you can fly a lot faster and in a lot darker environment than with the hoop cams. Number 64. And yeah, I think no one has guessed it yet. If you guess what music is playing in the background, you get a free Bazar ticket. If you want to buy a Bazar ticket, I think I didn't even post the link. If someone could post the link to the Bazar ticket page, ticket booth in the comments somewhere, description, video comments, chat room, I'd appreciate that. Number 64. I've been flying with these cameras almost in the dark. It's amazing, you can see more than with your bare eyes. And the hint to the soundtrack, it has to do with pirates. With pirates and with jungle. Done. Let's move on. It's the Dragonfly. If you want to see it fly, there's a video, I think it's called The Dragonfly Gets Bumped or something, where I fly this thing out the door there through the yard, and the kids trying to knock it out of the sky with frisbees. So it has a little more modern Alienware flight controller, Lemon RX DSM receiver, the 400 milliwatt transmitter, and I didn't know yet that there would be smaller dip switches, so I used a humongous red dip switch. The antenna is lying flat and zip tied to the tail. The camera is underneath, zip tied with a slight angle. It's not made to fly very fast, but to just get around. It was sort of my beginning days of flying FPV, so there's not too much angle in there. And also some very nice bump up protection. So yeah, we used to hoop a long time before it was cool. This thing has seen a lot of flight time. Crashed it like crazy, but it's almost impossible to destroy. The only thing that breaks is motors and propellers. So these propellers have seen the life. They are some of the old school, good, clear Hubsan props with long hubs. They take a lot of abuse, and because they're protected through these wings, yeah, I guess you get another 100 packs out of these props. Couple of spare motors for good measure. Mr. Rubble, hello my friend, welcome to the party. There's no one guessing the song, it's not so hard. Are you all too young for this? Whoever guesses the soundtrack right gets a free Bazar ticket. Come on, a couple of guesses my friends. Where's the music from? I flashed it briefly in the beginning of of the video. But yeah, don't cheat, just, you know, have an honest guess. What is it? The horse cause says some wrong on the song. On group de hurrias, ru nature sounds and sons de la nature. No, you're wrong, my friend. I'm sorry. It's a much shorter title. Oh, this is a classic piece of it. So, if you've ever participated in plundering the seas, you know this track. Oh damn, the Dragonfly is not fitting in here. It's too big. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I gotta get a couple bigger boxes for a few things, including the Dragonfly, with the looks of it, so let's see what else we can get with 8.5mm motors. So no, it's not the Jungle Book. Oh, this here's a special frame, but I need some special ingredients for it. Pirates of the Caribbean. No, close. Peter Pan, no. Moby Dick, no. Pilsner Popper's right, but that's not the title. So this here is, I think, one of its kind. It is, well, at first a classic Alien Wii Flight Controller version 2.4, it says. Requires a little more maintenance. One of these pins is broken off here, so you need to resolder the pins and reattach the connector. Apart from that, it's a well-working flight controller, including a DSM Lemon RX receiver. I hot glued the antennas. They haven't been broken, but I hot glued them all of them so that they don't break. And then the unique feature of this build here is the frame and the motors. Well, the motors, they are available on our webpage, but they're rarely used for quadcopters. They're 8.0mm motors, so I'm gonna park this one here for a little bit. And this is probably the only frame in existence of this kind. 8.0mm Dreamcatcher. Not available, only printed one of them, I guess, and yeah, it works alright. That's what I wanted to know. It's a little lighter than your average 8.5mm quad, because these motors are just a little lighter. So it might be a pretty good FPV setup when you bundle something in the middle here. It's not Donkey Kong. Albert. Thanks for coming, my friend. I know you're looking to get into FPV and all this stuff in Brazil, and that's not so easy. Sorry for that. Trying to do what I can to get some good stuff and advice to you over in Brazil. Drink up me hearties? No. Pirates of Percents? No, I don't know that. He's a pirate. Yeah, the guy who's the main actor in the thing, what the soundtrack is about, he's a pirate. Evil pirate. Don't be scared, Albert. It's one time is always the first time. Nugget says, hi all, been away past 2 streams. 3D printing is consuming me. Yeah, that's 3D printing. If you start with that, be careful. It can consume all your time and energy. And also, be careful with your fingers. Nuggets! I used to hack into my fingers so many times in the first couple months when I started printing. Once you worked out how to print the supports, that it goes off a lot easier, and once you learned a couple of tricks not to cut into your fingers, it's all good. But I've been bleeding for a lot of these parts, I can tell you. No, it's not Monkey Ball. It's no Symphony. It's also not the Black Pearl. But yeah, thanks for keeping the suggestions coming. I should probably Google all that stuff afterwards and see if there's something cool that I want to listen to. Number 65. Oh, I didn't put that thing into the previous box.
So essentially, certain people have decided that we all fall into this dysfunctional category under the label Gen X. Yeah, we used to hate those people. Now we just make fun of them. It's more.
It's still part of the soundtrack.
Hey Wolf, wake up over there! You got a bogey coming on strong. I can't see him.
So yeah, maybe that's a hint. It's apparently part of the soundtrack. I don't remember that part.
Back when I was on the internet, we weren't surfing the web with graphical user interfaces and pretty pictures. It was all text.
It's all text.
I liked it that way.
Now here's how it's gonna go, see? You're gonna start looking at every dirty, filthy alleyway and godforsaken fleabag compartment in this dog-eat-dog jungle that calls itself a city, and you're not gonna stop until you find something. And you better find something. Or hope that I don't find you.
I've left a little present for you under the fridge. It's set to go off after you eat the rice pudding. Oh, you've already eaten the rice pudding. Well, then I will start reading any 2-part stories. Oh, yeah. Get a good whiff of this stuff, Joe. Nah, this ain't your run-of-the-mill litter. This is the Big Kahuna. Fresh,
Big Kahuna.
unfiltered trash.
So if that wasn't a dead giveaway, the Big Kahuna.
In my dreams, I have seen Camelot, and I believe it to be my destiny, Father. I'm soon to be a man, and with all my heart, I wish to be as good and as true a man as you have always. I love the smell of cordite in the morning.
8mm Dreamcatcher. Good luck with that.
This is the way the world ends, the world ends, the world ends. This is the way the world ends now with a bang. Talk about too much living in a city. Phew, forget about it. My cousin Guido, he works downtown, right? One day he's taking a men. Go, I'm walking here, huh? Right, so anyways, heading down 5th Street, you know? So...
Yo, was it? Hi. My name's Petey, and I'm answering the ad for the Haley Mills lookalike. Anyway, I like to play ping pong. I eat a lot of jujubes, and I really love Mel Torme.
Yeah, well, I'd get off of work in a couple hours. Man, I'm really craving potatoes hardcorely. Hey, when I finish this tranny, you wanna, like, go to the Waffle House or something?
If there's one thing I hate more than baby snatchers, it's baby snatchers with a bad
It's not
attitude.
Star Fox.
I think we have us a problem here.
It's not Asterix.
Well, basically what happened, Doc, is, I started aspirating on that pork sausage I was having there for lunch. So they did that Heimlich thing on me, and brought me to the hospital. So here I am.
No muss, no fuss, no spills, your title gets drudgery, everything must go. How do we do it, how do we
Everything
do it?
must go.
Volume, turn up the volume. Yeah,
I hope it's loud enough for you guys.
The large print giveth and the small print taketh away.
Santa Hat. Santa Hat is somewhere upstairs, but yeah, it's Santa Hat. Got my head very itchy and my headphones full of white fluffy hair. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it again. Maybe. But yeah, Jason is right, it's pretty hot in here. It's like... Echo. What's the weather like?
Right now in Dawes Point, it's 26 degrees with partly sunny skies. Today's forecast has mostly sunny weather, with a high of 27 degrees and a low of 21 degrees.
Feels a lot hotter. Sweating. So... It's not World O'Donnell. It's not Captain Shears. It's not Captain Hook. But yeah, you're getting closer, I guess. .26 degrees cold here. Yeah, we have like this different, the normal kind of measuring temperatures here. Where 0 is freezing and 100 is cooking. And 37 is body temperature. So, see you later, Jason. It's Germany, it's 2 AM for the German guys. He says... Check out the quadflyer.net blog with a lot of microquad builds. Jason is building cool stuff. Check him out. Alles auch in Deutsch. And he also has a translate button if they're no Deutsch. Yeah, feels like 35. Jason, that's right. Tell more about the streams. What happens on streams? On streams? I don't understand, Albert. What you mean? Long John Silver? No. Can we request a certain box? No. Are sending these quads for subscribers? Well, for ticket subscribers. So you can buy a ticket for $50 on... let me see, I don't want to spoiler again. So if you go to micromotorwarehouse.com Bazar. Why is it? So search, just type Bazar into the search bar on my website, and there we go. There it is.
When you hear a gentle singing,
There's the Micromotor Bazaar surprise box.
Ridiculous.
You can go there. And get yourself a ticket, and you get a random box of what I'm packing here. And if you don't like it,
Come on, men.
you can swap it in the Bazar thread.
that pirate will be done for when he falls into our trap. We're a club attuned for rovers.
We can sing in every clef.
We can even hit the high notes.
It's just too bad we're tone deaf.
A pirate I was meant to be, trim the sails and roam the sea.
So, this here is the Millennium FPV Falcon.
Let's go defeat that evil pirate. We know he's sure to lose.
Has a Alienwave flight controller and some, I think, Hobby King DSM receiver. And you're just, as usual, piggybacking on the power input. Comes a plug out, connects to a FX798 something camera, which is getting stuffed in the front here. Or if you're adventurous, you can hack out this little potty on the side and put it in there. But yeah, that creates disbalance, so I'd rather stick this in the front here. Here's the lid. You can glue it back together if you really want to, but yeah, just bundle it together with rubber bands, so it's serviceable.
No time for song. We got to move.
We got a winner! Ding 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 ding! Mr. Horse Course wins the prize. It's the Curse of Monkey Island.
Trim the sails and roam the sea.
Less singing, more sailing.
When we defeat our wicked foe, his ship he will be bailing. If you try to fight us,
You will get a nasty whacking.
if you disrespect our singing, we will feed you to a kraken. A pirate I was meant to be, trim the sails and roam the sea.
The Falcon is also too big.
Guys, and you're rhyming.
So yeah, this doesn't mean that I keep them. I'll just pack them off camera into a couple larger boxes, which I'm going to get this afternoon from the post office.
Trim the sails and roam the sea.
So yeah, congrats, Mr. Horse Course. If you've ever purchased something from my shop, please just post a order number so I can identify you and send you a free ticket. Yes, Mr. Mullet. The Horse Course wins a free Bazaar ticket, so a random one of these boxes is yours, Mr. Course. Yeah, please, if you've ever purchased something from me, please post a order number in the description and I'll track you down.
We'll surely avoid scurvy if we all eat an orange.
And,
Well, door hinge? No. Guess the song's over then.
guess so.
Okay, back to work.
Well, gee, I feel a little guilty now.
8.5mm, 135mm carbon H-frame with the classic Alien V flag controller. And a 808 number 16 with, I think, B lens, a little narrower lens attached to the bottom of it. Also has a microphone. A voltage regulator piggybacking onto the main power input. And there's a little bit of 3M dual lock on the top. I used this thing very early on in my FPV career to fly FPV and record HD, well, 720p, some people call it HD at the same time. To pack it, needs to lose a little bit of height, so I see if I can just push the motors in. It should work. Number, I think 66 we're up to. Mr. Rebel said Monkey Island earlier. Oh, really? Sorry for that. Everyone who said Monkey Island before Horse Course said it, you get a free ticket too. Doesn't matter if you set the curse of Monkey Island. Monkey Island counts. So yeah. I let Pilsner Popper be the judge. So Pilsner Popper, if you want to go through and quote everyone who has said Monkey Island before Horse Course did, free ticket. Happy Bazar. Yeah, sorry for not paying so much attention to the chat room. Any more old school Monkey Island fans? That's what I've been growing up with. My dad used to be infrastructure manager in a large data center. So amongst sourcing stuff, he was also responsible for getting rid of the old servers. Not one server left this data center before I was pulling the parts out that I needed to continue playing Monkey Island. This year, well, before I talk long about it, let me see if I can fit this in the box at all. Yeah, I guess I just have to remove the fins and then it should fit. So this here is the original Racing Shark. You know, you see the green dot here? Damn, I'm getting confused with the cameras. So this green dot is the approval stamp that we got on the track to say, yep, this VTX is checked for power output and the right frequency. It was a green dot, which means it was, and probably still is, if you power it just on as it is, transmitting on 5860. And yeah, I used this exact quad for the first couple of FPV races, fpvr.org races in Sydney. And you know what? The Shark used to win these races when no one could fly properly yet. No one knew the track. The Shark was ruling. Oh, there's a foot missing, so I'd include one extra one. Here it is. Just cut it down, put it over the motor. Couple of spare motors. Oh yeah, maybe I should say something detail about it. It's an 18V prototype made by Micro FPV in the Netherlands. One of the cams I spoke about earlier. I'm an RX receiver, Reggie Shark final edition frame, 820-15 motors and Parrot props. Just slide these on. They just don't fit in the box, so assemble, so I put them next to it. Number 67. Yeah, so the typical answer in Australia on your question will be, how long is a stream? That would be, how long is a piece of string? We don't know. Might be really long, might be over soon. We honestly don't know, Albert. We'll find out together. So this needs to be taken apart, otherwise it doesn't fit. Little shark fin roll cage. Oh, too small. Here it is. Come on. Screw you. Pilsner Papa is asking how many boxes are currently spoken for. I don't know. Didn't check. If they are sold out, there was still a few left from last week, so I think like 10 or so. And they added another 20. Assuming that I get through at least 20 today. So if you see it sold out, let me know and I'll check it out. If not, there are less than 20 of those spoken for. So, horse cause, did you post an order number? Oh, here. I see. So here, number 67, the original racing shark. Used to fly this a year ago when we started the FPVR.org racing series. I kind of moved away from flying to doing all the video stuff. But next season, plan to get flying again. All the video box are all now working. So just switch it on, press a couple buttons. Back to flying we go. So 36 242 says the horse cause. So that just sent out the free ticket to Mr. Hawes and now Mr. Rubble. Rebel? Rebel or Rubble? $7,462. So, free Bazaar ticket für Mr. Rubble. Congrats, Phil. I hope you get something cool. So, quick catch up on the chat room. No messages since I've been here last. Here comes Whitey. You know what, Whitey? The little white chicken that you sometimes see in a couple of my videos. Her name is Whitey too. So here comes Whitey. Yeah, those which I sent shipping notifications for this morning, they're all on this pile here, so they'll go out this afternoon. So yeah, thanks Pilsner Popper for keeping things fair. Yeah, Albert, he can ask Pilsner Popper. I think he understands Portuguese. JB is asking if I still have any more Santa sleighs. Yeah, as you might have seen in the picture, in the preview picture of the stream, there's like 3 or 4 Santa sleighs. They will go also under the hammer, but yeah, it leads in larger boxes, so they are part of part 3, I think. A chicken frame. Yeah, I don't have a chicken frame yet. Love to have one of those. The Dark Lord giveth. Alright, moving on. Let's see what else is on the shelf. Oh, no Portuguese. Moving on. For the flat frames that I can put in flat boxes. Some of you might remember this guy here. I'm a bit sad to give him away, but he should get a home where he can fly a little more. The Yoda Quad. Yeah, my traditional frame design, printed in nylon with the classic Alien V-Flight controller, 820-15 motors, a couple of white furnishing, white props. May the force be with you. Look at his ears. It's like a rubber head. His ears move. Yeah, I'm a bit sad that you're going away, Yoda Quad. Good luck, I wish. And yeah, I'll give you a couple spare motors so that the force stays strong. So yeah, if these boxes get smashed in transport, what will probably break is the motors, shafts, propellers. But yeah, the way I put them in here, the frame and the flight controller should survive pretty well. So, oops, one too many motors in here, that's why it doesn't fit. 2 sets of spares. And I'm gonna take the little man off, put him in the bag here, otherwise it wouldn't fit. I think he has only appearance in one little video, this quad at least. Yoda had a few more, so I'll probably miss him so much that I get another Yoda. I need an excuse to go Lego figure shopping. Number 68. Gets the original delivery note of my parcel box delivery. Yeah, you know, I like all these quads. Pilsner Popper. Some more, some a little less, but most of them I like a lot. That's why I was not giving them away. Not, yeah, but I guess, you know, there's times in life we have to let go. It's time to give and time to take. So I put a card in here. I put 2 cards in here. So if you get Yoda Quad, please take some pictures of his new home and send them to me. Next one. Also never seen before, never heard before by most of you, I think. It's some custom version of the Micro X frame made by my friend Thorsten Schepper out of some sandwich material. So it's 2 thin layers of carbon fiber and some very dense foam in between. Yeah, comes with no electronics, just a set of motors, a set of props, and I would have guessed a couple of spares for good measure. Number 69. The frame is a sticker shock. Which frame do you mean? Albert asked me if I would like to make a video in Rio. I don't plan to leave Australia anytime soon. But if I do, I'll probably go to... Oh no, I actually plan to leave Australia at sometime soon. I forgot. I plan to go to Japan in April. I've been to Japan many times. Always for work, so this time is the first time I'm gonna be there for fun. But yeah, apart from that, when I leave Australia, I'll go back to Germany for a little bit until the grumpiness gets to me again, and I'll go back to paradise. We have a sign down there on the beach. It says, "Please consider paradise and take your rubbish with you." And most people do. And so many people here love paradise so much that they go down to the beach and collect the garbage that the disrespectful visitors leave behind. Take 3 for the sea. Oop, what's that? Another hex. This one's pretty good. I like it. I was running this with this heavy battery, but yeah, I think 700 milliamp is better. So it has this low profile 3M dual lock on the bottom. I'm not going to send the battery with it. So if you want to mount the battery as I used to, get some low profile 3M dual lock. Stick it on your battery and you can just plop them on there. Holds really nice. Runs a 400 milliwatt video transmitter, dip switchable. You might want to reinforce the antenna a little bit, either with epoxy or something around the solder joint, or you know, if you prepared to solder, it's probably just good to leave it as it is, because you can just resolder it if it breaks. Also on the bottom, the pilot cam, MC900, expensive little cams, but yeah, very good. I like them. Has an Alienware flight controller, one of the rare hacks Alienware flight controllers on there. DSM receiver, Polo low voltage regulator, original powder coated Dark Force motors, and indestructible clear hubs and props. Never got them again. I bought a bunch of them, they were so good. Tried to buy more of them. Never got any. If you want to lighten this up, this frame, I recommend to replace the hardware with nylon. Saves a lot of weight on this frame. And you might want to tune it a little bit. Well, I think this one I worked out pretty well. So yeah, this one should fly pretty well out of the box. the spare motors. Bloody Sydney tourists. Yeah, bloody Sydney tourists. Howdy, Phil. What's happening, Lloyd? Personal pop. What's this music? It's still. Let me check if it's still. Yeah. Still the soundtrack. Some later advanced parts in the game. You want to give a peanut for it, Nuggets? Yeah, it's still the Monkey Island track. Come on, go in there. All bundled up. The peanut hacks. Yeah, it's duct tape. Next one. It's a large Insanopter. I think it's a 140mm efficiency frame. Built as light as possible. No fuss. Just frame, flight controller, motors, propellers. Gotta rig some... oh no, I stuck some 3M dual lock, low profile to the bottom. Has a little bit of sand in it. So I hope the motors don't have sand. Ooh, this motor looks pretty rusty. So, yeah, motor replacement is due. So let's get some spare motors ready. These motors probably won't work now. This is stuffed. So, very nice frame. I like to fly this thing Very precise, very fast, very nice. One of the original 2.4 version, I think, of the ANV flight controller, and one of the custom frames Mr. David Wood's turning at picnic quads makes. I forgot the number. This is number 70. I think he's back somewhere in the Arctic. Let's see what else we got. Mailman. Let's check it out. No, he's already taken care of. The Speeder Quad Plus. There's a video on Vimeo. I think he gets to the end boss. There's a video on YouTube, I think, called the Speeder Quad Plus. I think I put a Stormtrooper on top of it and flying around. So it's set up in Plus configuration. Flies with the red prop forwards. Very fast little quad with a carbon birch sandwich efficiency frame and original powder-coated Dark Force motors. I think it's a little too high. So I have to snip off my little, or just maybe slide it off so you can put it back on. Yeah, they're just heat shrink, pieces of heat shrink. Shrunk quite, with quite a lot of care. You can only get this type of shrinking with a heat gun, micro heat gun, SMD heat gun. So, but yeah, you can just pop them back on and they should stick again. If not, heat up only the top part a little bit so they get some tension again. But yeah, I have to take them off to get this thing into the box. I don't have these motors anymore, so a couple of 820-15s as spares for good measure. What's up, Madman? Welcome. I'm glad you like the music. So yeah, these are the last two for today. Then running out of time. Lots of other things to do to prepare the move to paradise. So yeah, if you have any general comments or questions or something, post them in the chat room now. After I'm done with these two, I'll read through it and reply, comment, whatever is necessary. So yeah, let's pack up the Speeder Quad Plus first. A couple of spare motors for good measure. But it hasn't been flying much. I have built a few other ones that I flown to bits. But this one here, I was always scared of the crash, the carbon birch. But it's very stiff and very lightweight, so if you're a good flyer, you'll have a lot of fun with this thing. Just don't crash it. And if you do, yeah, you can just get a regular polycarb efficiency frame from picnicquads.com to replace it. It's very difficult to fix if this frame breaks. But yeah, it's very stiff, very little movement, flies very nice. Madman is napping. Thanks for coming in anyway. Have a good one, my friend. The horse course is asking if storing motors next to each other is damaging the magnets. I don't think so. What is damaging magnets? The number one enemy of magnets is heat. Heat them up and they will lose the force. That's one of the main reasons. I mean, next to coils and stuff burning up, why you shouldn't overheat motors. The magnetic force will be released. There's a couple of videos on YouTube. You can see people trying to lots of experiments with, I think the backyard scientist did some. So yeah, if you don't know him yet, it's a very popular YouTube channel. I think all the watchers here doing stuff themselves at home would enjoy watching the backyard scientist, and I think he does something with heating up magnets. But yeah, I've seen a few others, and that is the enemy of the magnetic force. Heat them up and they get permanently damaged. This one here is the original Insane Parrot. Man, this took me so long to put this thing together. I printed so many different versions of it. It has like a custom inset, which allows to mount the MWC, micro MWC flight controller in the top of the kind of cargo area there. And then, let's see, I think I used these blue pills, the 500 milliamp Hobson packs at that stage. Today I'd probably try to stick like a 700 milliamp in there. Something like that. That's an ominous pack. Fits right in there. Or anything smaller, like a 333 milliamp my light bulb. Fits pretty well in here. But yeah, you gotta replace the plug, so I recommend to replace this plug with a red JST, but at that point in time when I was building this thing I didn't know yet. So yeah, but you can Google Insane Parrot, and the very first video that I made about the Insane Parrot, that's this guy here. Also with the original dark coated, powder coated Dark Force motors and some random black plastic propellers. Couple spare motors to keep you going. What's up, Waxillium? How we doing today? Welcome to the party. I think this is number 71. Or did I miss one? Did I put a number in here? Ah. Plus Quadcopter didn't get a number. This was 71. So the original Insane Parrot is number 72. Yeah, so this build created quite a confusion amongst people who didn't know me yet. So I got lots of messages from people who were trying to somehow get their Parrot rolling spider to fly like this and were not successful, and including the CEO of Parrot. So I got a message from Henri, I forgot his last name. He wanted to know how to make one. So I made a video how to make one. I think he didn't make one. So now's your chance. You can get one. Henri, if you're watching, just check out a ticket. A Bazar ticket. The Insane Parrot might be yours. Sorry for my ugly packing technique. But it kind of fits the do-it-yourself style of this our beloved hobby. So yeah, if you have any issues with Insane Parrot, yeah, call me. But it has a micro MWC board, so you probably have issues sooner or later. Good luck, my friend. So yeah, unfortunately that's true for many RTFs being sold these days. The Parrot is like the Inductrix. It flies best once all the stock components are removed. Wise words, Mr. Pilsner Popper. So, Peter and the Wolf music. Yeah, actually that is yeah, that's right. Very good. I like it. Peter and the Wolf. These boxes, right, Lloyd? These boxes are the micromotor history. So, not so much of the warehouse, more of the micromotor mission, I'd say. But now, yeah, you know, things progress from the mission to the warehouse. So now, stuff gets moving. So yeah, if you have any further questions or comments, I'll hang around for a couple more minutes in the chat room, and yeah, let me know what you think. Any questions, any other comments, anything you want me to talk about. Now's the time. So Waxilium says, you'd like to get this box? Yeah, there's no guarantee. You get some random stuff, some random box, and then if you don't like it, you can go to the Micromotor Bazaar thread and trade it in for another box, or, you know, for some other stuff that people want to trade in, because it's still good, but they don't need it anymore, because as it is in this hobby, moves fast. You go from one to the other, and a big part of the fun for most of us is building these things and figuring new things out. So yeah, that's why all these quads and a lot more. I think I didn't get through even half of it. I need a couple more larger boxes to put a few of the little larger builds in there. Need to make space, to create room and justification to build a lot more. Yeah, the postman, I heard the bell, so he brought something, but it was just the regular post guy, not the DHL, not the FedEx, not the UPS, and not the Star Trek, and not the Couriers Please guy. So usually that's kind of the low shelf stuff, what he brings, and letters, boring stuff like that. But yeah, I'll check out if he brought something that's interesting. So, here, I got something. So, yeah, Waxilium. It's time to connect the past to the future and get some of these old pieces moving. I hope they have a good life. I hope you have some fun with them. And, So, I don't get the last sentence. I was wondering the same. Should do a video on the quads that couldn't be given salt. I don't understand what you mean. Anyway, let's dig into this here. So yeah, the old traditional garbage bag packing, which our friends in China love so much. It's either from Banggood or from T-Mart or from GearBest or something like that. What am I getting? Huh? Ah, Banggood. I ordered this at Banggood. Nothing too fancy, exciting. It's a FR Sky module. I plan to put this into my Horus, because the reception, the range of the Horus is horrible. So I just disabled the internal FR Sky, or we just learned this morning on somewhere, I think on Reddit. It's pronounced Free Sky. Free Sky. Which I think that's a good name. But there's an E missing, or two E's. Why not call it Free Sky? Yeah, not too exciting. I hope it works better than the internal module. But I also learned that there's some firmware I can flash onto it, but it's a bit of a pain because I have to go back from OpenTX to FreeOS, which is, yeah, it is free, but it's pretty limited compared to OpenTX. But apparently the latest version of FreeOS contains some code for the radio module, which will fix the horizontal range. And I heard from a friend of mine in New Zealand that even when you put an external module in there, the range is still horizontal. So yeah, I'm a little bit bummed about the range of my new radio, but yeah, get to the bottom of this eventually. So exactly, the Bang Gods. Jason wants to come along tomorrow at 9:30, 10:30. I think that should be good. Echo, what's on the calendar tomorrow?
Tomorrow, there are 5 events.
5 events.
Here are the first 4 events. At 11:10 a.m. there's
So,
Dr. DeConk. At 12
Echo, stop.
p.m.
So yeah, 9:30 is fine. Haven't heard anyone that likes the Horus. I really like the Horus. It's a nice radio, but yeah, horizontal range. How about changing the antenna lead in the radio for a bigger one? The antenna lead? Well, I'll show you what I did. So here, the Free Sky Horus X12S. So the first thing I did when I got it is I just switched it on and checked that all the buttons work. Switches and sliders and whatnot you all have here. Got the very nice sliders in the back. And then I've opened it up to center the... Which one is it? The left gimbal is usually not centered. I don't understand why you would want to fly a copter without a centering throttle stick, but it seems to be, yeah, something what a lot of people like, to have like a sticky throttle. I don't understand. So yeah, open it up to change that, and then started flying. And I'm very impressed with the quality of the gimbals. Not so much that they feel smooth, or you know, you can have regular potentiometer, potentio, I don't know how you pronounce this properly, gimbals which feel very good, but they just don't center properly. Not mechanically, but you know, electronically. You see the values jittering, and if you center it from the left, you get a different value than you centered from the right. So, which is, I don't think, always a mechanical problem in the gimbal itself, but in the way how it's measured. These are a little bit different. They have Hall sensors, so magnetic sensors, which don't have any friction as far as I understand this. So the centering is a lot better. Very impressed with the gimbals. Not so much impressed with the range and a couple of other, I think, just design flaws on this thing, but they don't bother me too much. So, for example, you're supposed to hook up the neck strap here, which opens up this flap all the time and is completely unbalanced. So it's, yeah, I think this is just a design flaw. Also, well, a couple minor things. I don't want to complain too much. The range, I want to complain about the range though. So the internal module, I flew just in my backyard, just behind one brick wall, and no connection anymore. Then I connected this external antenna to it. It's a 5 dB Wi-Fi antenna. And it increases the range a little bit, but how can you design a connection like that? It's a major pain in the behind to screw the plug in here, because you don't have any way to hold on to it. There's no way I can get my fingers in there, so I need to take a pair of pliers essentially to screw this thing in and out. Maybe I should design a little wheel which goes around here and has just the right dimensions to not get on here. Maybe that's then easier. But yeah, so far not impressed. I also heard, well, let's check this out, that the module bay is not sized properly. Seems to fit. No, that seems to fit. So, yeah. Before I go and flash the heck out of this thing again, I'll try if it works with an external module. Much easier to screw the external antenna on as well. But I hope I can get around this and just live with that antenna here in the back, although it's not very well positioned, because, well, you obviously gonna put this radio down like this when you fly. Well, maybe it's a little better. Let's see. Potentiometer. Yeah. Thank you for that. I probably still didn't get it right. Welcome, Jason. Just come along. You're waiting for a tax return so I can buy a horse. Yeah. If you don't want to muck around with this, you might be happier with an X9E. My X9E has very good range in comparison. Antenna lead in the radio for a bigger one. So you mean the connection that connects the antenna to the board with the bigger one? I don't think that makes any difference, unless they really goofed it up. But apparently it's fixable by software. Nuggets can't believe that something simple like the strap causing that to flip up is unacceptable. So you can't believe that it's flipping up, or you can't believe that it's unacceptable? If I would use a neck strap, it would be unacceptable. But I'm not using a neck strap, so I'm just shaking my head and thinking, have you guys ever used this thing at all? So no, I'm using this as a laptop device. Fly FPV in the first place. To fly line of sight, I prefer to use my Turnigy 9XR. Waxillium talks about the inner coax wire to that plug. I think that's alright. I hope that's alright. A very nice way to make a cheap and good radio is to take a Turnigy 9XR, stick a prickle hack module in the back, and hack some high-tech Aurora 9 gimbals into this. Still one of my favorite radios. And yeah, the X9E. I know I have hooked up Mr. Rebel with the idea of flying the next X9E. Yeah, it's an awesome radio. Still using this a lot. The original domestic quality control unit in a Bazar box. No, I think the domestic quality control unit has already been crashed to pieces and being replaced. I might show you my current RTF box, RTF drawer. So, yeah, let's close it to spoil the surprise. Well, you probably know what oops, I'm sorry. So, in here is my... This is my RTF drawer. There's a couple more in the back, you can't see them. But yeah, this is pretty much all I'm flying these days. Hoops. So the domestic quality control unit got crashed to pieces, and I think she's down here in the WIP drawer. So... honky tonk music. Any way to actually buy the Aurora gimbals? Yeah, there's a place to buy the Aurora gimbals. I'll try to find the place where I bought them and then close the show for today. I think the Monkey Island track might have already ended and we got some weird other music in here. Let me have a look. Oh yeah. Something StarCraft. Okay. Yeah, I played that too. Not as good as Monkey Island though. So, enough music for now, my friends. Let me see. I think I bought the Aurora 9 gimbals at some robot shop or something. Let me see. Aurora 9 gimbals. They were not very expensive. Here. That's where I got them. Robot shop. Robotshop.com. Access joystick GIM. To access joystick GIM 01. Aurora 9 gimbal. So... they're not made to go into this radio, so... You see all this here around, that's keratin glue. So they are too big for it, and also the holes don't line up at all. So I just took a Dremel and hacked the heck out of it, and then glued them in with keratin. They're not perfectly straight, so I think the left gimbal goes a little bit to the outside, but yeah, that's actually not too bad. Very, very nice gimbals, and I put some extra large sticks on it. Very good. Probably the cheapest way to make a good radio. And while I was already at it, hacking it apart, I took all the trim things out. A ratchety throttle and trim things, that's kind of a thing of the past. Radio makers, we don't need this anymore when we fly multicopters. Is it necessary? I've seen this video a few times. Well, I haven't watched it, but I've seen it popping up a few times. I haven't watched it yet. I just started to like Mr. Steele when he posted the Atlanta video. Anyway, let's not talk about that too much. Yeah, Pilsner Popper. Check out the robot shop. Post the link in the chat room for you. Do they have them in stock? Looks like it. New stock soon. Oh no, out of stock. But yeah, that's the place where I would get them. Buy them here. I'm sure they'll get them back in stock soon, they say. It's a badass radio, says Josh the Vox. So he changed the oh really? Okay. Yeah, actually I've never used this. I'm thinking about it on the X9E. I always used a module anyway. LMR 400. Alright, I'll check it out. I'll listen to the Mr. Albert asks me if I have a prickle heck module. I do have one which was built for me by my buddy Josh. I haven't done one myself, but I recently found someone on YouTube, on RC Groups who has built a few of them, and I pinged them, say, hey, can you make some for me? And apparently there's 3 new hack modules on the way to me. Haven't seen them yet, but I paid them like a month ago or so, I think. So, but yeah, they'll get here eventually. So, the Horse Calls has a Banggood 4-in-1 module for the Taranos. I have one too, I haven't tested it yet. Probably never will. So it's practically a Devo with the 4-in-1. No, unless I don't get what you're talking about. Maybe you reply to someone else. Alright, that's it, my friends. How long? 2.5 hours. Alright. Feels quicker. So thanks for hanging in here with me, making this an interesting experience for all of us. And I guess I keep going with the bazaar a little bit before we can move on to new things. I've actually have a lot of new things on the shelf as well that I would like to talk about. But yeah, first things first. It's 14 hours, she says. So let me finish as usual. Connect to server. Go to share home. Go to video projects. Go to music. Oh, by the way, talking about video projects, I just uploaded a video from yesterday to the fpvr.org channel, another 3 hours as well, so if you're into watching long videos. We had an awesome race day yesterday. We had a huge gorilla on the track. That was fun. And yeah, pretty awesome racing on the Western Sydney University campus. And yeah, if you're interested in that part, go and subscribe to the fpvr.org channel. And to close the stream, I'm gonna play some hoop music. Now we're gonna stop flying by Ben Shepherd. See you later.
The whole wide world, yeah, I'm the one that wants to be blown by everyone, cause I'm the beginning of the revolution. The FPV micro society, it doesn't matter where, just the fact that we can all fly and be free. So let's go fly and be free, yeah. Never gonna stop flying with tiny wood. No one's ever gonna make me stop. No, it's too much fun. Get out of my way. Never gonna stop flying with tiny wood. No one's ever gonna make me stop. No, it's too much fun. Get out of my way, or I'ma use you as a gate. Never gonna stop flying with tiny wood. No,